Hey there, everyone. Welcome back. Today we're talking about something exciting. Travel. More specifically, those tricky little verbs known as phrasal verbs that you'll need when you're on the move. I'm Sophia, and I'm here with my travel buddy, Ethan. Ready to explore some phrasal verbs for travel, Ethan?
Absolutely, Sophia. Traveling can be a blast, but it can also be confusing if you don't know the right expressions. Sometimes you need to check in at a hotel or airport or drop off your luggage. If you haven't heard these phrases before, it can feel like you're missing out on part of the conversation. Let's change that today.
Let's imagine we're planning a trip to a new country. First, we might set off for the airport early in the morning to avoid traffic. Set off basically means start your journey.
Right. For example, we set off at 5 a.m. to catch our 8 a.m. flight. That extra time usually helps reduce stress. Nobody wants to rush through airport security.
Exactly. And once you arrive at the airport, you'll need to check in for your flight. Check-in means registering at the desk or kiosk, getting your boarding pass, and often dropping off your luggage if you have any.
Yes, they'll say something like, "Please check in at least 2 hours before your departure." Then, if you have big suitcases, you drop them off at the check-in counter. Drop off here means leaving or delivering something to a specific place.
After that, it's time to go through security. We often say go through to mean passing from one side of something to the other, like going through customs or security checkpoints.
Once you're past security, you might have time to look around the shops or hang out in the lounge. Hang out means relaxing or waiting casually. That's my favorite part. Grabbing a coffee, maybe buying a last-minute travel pillow.
Then when it's finally time to board the plane, you get on your flight. Get on means to enter a vehicle like a bus, train, or plane. They'll say, "We are now boarding. Please get on the plane with your boarding pass ready."
Exactly. If you have a layover, you might need to get off one plane and get on another. Get off is the opposite of get on, meaning exit or disembark. Traveling often involves hopping on and off different forms of transport, especially if you're visiting multiple cities.
Now, picture we've landed safely. We pick up our luggage at baggage claim. Pick up can mean collecting something, like your suitcase from the carousel.
Yes, sometimes I worry, will my bag show up? But usually it does. Then we might look for a taxi or a shuttle. If we booked a ride, the driver might drop us off at our hotel. Drop off is also used for people, not just luggage.
Right. We can say, "Could you drop me off at the downtown hotel, please?" Once at the hotel, we check in again, this time at the reception desk. They give us our room key, and we settle in.
I love that moment of finally reaching the room. But eventually our trip ends and we check out of the hotel, meaning we settle the bill and leave. Check out is basically the opposite of check in.
That's so true. Also, if we want to explore the city, we might get around by bus or train. Get around means to travel within a place, like, "How can I get around this city easily?" People might say, "It's easy to get around by metro or by bike."
Let's talk about day-to-day stuff while traveling. Maybe we want to visit a museum. We head out in the morning, meaning we leave our accommodation to go see the sights.
Yes, and if the museum is full, we might hang around for a while waiting to buy tickets. Hang around is similar to hang out, meaning to wait or stay in one area without doing much.
Then, if we get hungry, we pop into a cafe. Pop into means to enter briefly or casually. Sometimes you just want to quickly grab a bite or check out a local pastry shop.
Oh, and don't forget about budgeting. We might need to cut down on expenses if we're overspending. For instance, I've been buying too many souvenirs. I need to cut down on that. Though it's hard when everything is new and exciting.
Travel isn't always smooth sailing. Sometimes flights get delayed or you run into problems. Run into means you encounter an unexpected situation, like losing your wallet or missing a train.
Yes, it can be stressful. If something serious happens, like a canceled flight, you might have to sort out new travel plans. Sort out means to arrange or find a solution. For example, I need to sort out a place to stay tonight since my flight was canceled.
Or if your luggage gets misplaced, you might have to look into the airline's policy on lost baggage. Look into means to investigate or research something. It's a polite way of saying you're going to find out more information.
When it's time to return home, you might set off early for the airport again if you have a long trip. Once you get on your flight home and arrive, you get off the plane and pick up your luggage once more.
Exactly. Sometimes you might stop over in another city. Stop over means a short stay somewhere on the way to your final destination. People often do this to explore an extra city if they have time.
Finally, you reach home, drop off your bags, and chill out. A casual way of saying relax. You might say, I'm going to chill out for a day or two to recover from jet lag.
Yes, that's the best part. Coming home and telling everyone about your adventure. Then you realize you have to catch up on all the work or messages you missed. Catch up on means you need to handle or read the things you missed while you were away.
So, those are a bunch of phrasal verbs you can use while traveling. Before we go, how can our listeners remember them?
I'd recommend writing down a few you learned today and create a little travel story in your head. I set off at 6 a.m., got on the train, checked in at the airport. The more you use them in a story, the easier they stick.
Yes. Or when you watch a travel vlog, listen for these verbs. You might hear, we're about to set off on a road trip. Or, we dropped off our luggage at the hotel. Recognizing them in context helps a ton.
And don't try to memorize them all at once. Pick maybe 3 or 4 to focus on this week. Use them in your writing or conversation practice. Soon, you'll be using them naturally without even thinking.
Exactly. Traveling is so much more fun when you have the words to describe all those little steps along the way. Well, thanks for joining us, everyone. We hope you enjoyed this friendly guide to phrasal verbs for travel.
Yeah, we hope next time you set off on a journey, you'll check in at the airport with confidence, get around the city like a pro, and drop off your luggage without any worries. See you next time.
Take care and keep practicing those phrasal verbs.